My dear father, it's a year that we have come back to our country Bosnia from Iran, where you have studied for 20 years, but you're still unemployed. Why?
My dear daughter, I should explain a long story here, but that's not time for that. Actually, I have the very moment we have come back, I have introduced myself to the relevant institutions, to the academic society, and I have told that I am ready to contribute whatever is in my ability to the well-being of our country. Actually, I wonder why I have not been invited yet. Since our country has so many problems to be solved, our families also, our own family, as you see, especially those fields in which I have studied, and it is philosophy and theology and also logics. These fields are, in my opinion, necessary for development of a country. And also the 3 foreign languages that I have learned on the academic and scientific level are also useful. But in spite of all these problems, I do not know why wise people of this country do not see the need for the work which I see is so much needed in this country.
Are these family problems and national issues related to what you've told me and what you've written on your website, mirsad.com, about your biography and about what happened to my grandfather because of his being a soldier in Germany's army during the World War II?
I cannot say that it's precisely related to these events, but I guess that it might be because of the experience we have had all these times. I know for certain though, 2 things. The first is that our country has problems which need to be solved and on which we all should work hardly. This is for certain. The other things, which is also important, and I know for certain, is that my father was regularly recruited to our army during the World War II, and he was defending our country and our people from genocide. My father was neither fascist nor anti-fascist. My father was not Nazi or anti-Nazi. He just served our country, our people. He just wanted to fulfill his duty, to accomplish his obligation which he had on his shoulder. My father is completely innocent, but in spite of all this, unfortunately, we have been stigmatized for half of a century. For decades, we have been stigmatized for the fact that my father, or our father, served the German army during the World War II.
In spite of all these problems, I saw in your articles that you have some projects and programs for solving our problems. Have you ever asked for help and support from those to whom our fathers so faithfully and painfully served?
Well, my darling, there are three things or 3 points here. First of all, please don't be worried. Yes, I'm unemployed right now, but with the knowledge and experience which I have gained, I hope that I will be able through, for example, freelance work, support you and your faculty or your study. So please continue to your excellence in mathematics. Also, you yourself are a good painter. Some of your works have been sold. So please don't be worried. The second point here is that yes, I'm asking, first of all, from my people, from our people, Bosnians, to come together and to solve our problems and to work together, everyone to contribute whatever he or she can from his or her material or intellectual wealth to make a better future for all children. From the other side, yes, I'm asking support from our German government, German people, but I don't want to this asking and this request. I don't want to be decreased to, for example, financial aid. Myself and my brother, as children of our great father, have much more right in Germany. For example, now when I have gained competence, for example, to be a deputy in a German parliament, such a recognition I want. It's not my duty, it's their duty to recognize it. If I was forced to seek, to request for someone for financial aid, no, I will do it from somewhere else. I just want to emphasize here that I know my right and to announce it. The third point is that I'm trying to somehow escape this recalling and remembering what happened to our family and to my father in connection with Germany. I have described it in my biography on my website, and do not want to and cannot explain it here in details. However, I would like to show you what does Germany through that experience means for me through a kind of illustration. The story is that some 40 years before, when I was a little boy, my father was here, right here, and he took me to his bosom and started to kiss me. And it continued for some time, and lastly I asked him to go. I asked for his permission to go to play with children. He allowed me, but he kissed me for last time, and I was here. I departed from him. Here. I wanted to go to play, but when I turned back, I saw tears on his cheeks. I didn't know why. Anyway, I went, but when I came back, I didn't find him here. Rather, I found him over there, dead. He was dead. I saw him here alive, but I have found him dead over there. That's going from Bosnia to Germany and recalling all what has happened to my father is like going from here to that place and recalling all that history of pain and suffering. On my steps, each millimeter is pain. It lasts until today. Yes, it lasts until today. So please come with me. I will show you. I left my father in this room, and then I went to play with children, with the football which I had. When I come back, I didn't find him here, since I usually was putting my football in a hail of him here over there. I went here. There was a hole through which I threw my football. and I glanced and saw in this part my father was dead. And this is Germany for me. This is Germany. It's here, right here. This is Germany. Here is Germany. Here was my father. Here was my father. Here. This is Germany for me. My father was faithfully defending Bosnia, Germany and Europe. And we after him were suffering. And still I am seeing bitter consequences. But my father was innocent. Those fascists and anti-fascists forced him to be dead. Until recently, it was difficult for me to come here. I usually try to escape this place until I saw a dream in which I have seen this place. I've seen it as a classroom, very clean, enlightened. It was full of school chairs, nicely ordered in rows, and it was calm, and from that time onward I didn't fear from this place. The message that I have retrieved from that dream was, this place is a lecture. For many, it is a lecture. It's a monument. It can be a historical lecture for new generations. And one of works which I and the others can do here in Bosnia is to build this place as a monument, to be a lecture for others, for new generations, in order to not repeat mistakes.
Huh?
Of course, there are so many projects and so many jobs that I and the other people should work to make our country a much better place for living. I have mentioned some of them. On my page, on my website. But I think one of these works is actually this one. I hope we will learn from history. I hope no one from our German people and European people and Bosnian people will never be rewarded with the need to be dead to save his children, like my father was rewarded for his painful and faithful defense of our country.